The truth is, you're as dumb as they come.
You know, speaking to the Candace Owens fans. There we go. Back to that one for a little bit. All right. Well, the first thing I was going to do to start off the show was, just kind of randomly popped up. I was looking at something on Nancy Guthrie. It looks like there's two bodies that were found over in this neighborhood over here. Probably, most likely unrelated. But it's a male and a female, Interestingly, I think it's a male and a female. And the neighborhood is, exactly in that realm where you sort of would go out, almost like on Annie's direction, that path that she had, kind of going up here. So somehow, it just seems sort of interesting. I don't think it means anything. I'm just throwing it out there as a, hey, look at this. This is kind of weird. You had the Sheriff Department saying they're currently conducting a death investigation at a home in the 4300 block. I mean, hell, they could have died from carbon monoxide. I don't know. A male and a female were discovered deceased. The home currently I think they meant to put at the home. Outstanding suspects, there's none. The investigation is ongoing and additional details will be provided when they become available. Then you have this, I think it's this one right here. No, not that one. I heard about it like in a different article I was looking at. But here's the place, and they don't say anything about it. It's just kind of a.
Responding to an incident in Tucson's northwest side near Ina and Thornydale. News for Tucson's John Macaluso has been there. He's been following this since it happened. John, what can you tell us now?
Yeah, Monica, we're still working on learning more about what happened, but we are told from PCSD that two people were found dead in one of the homes behind me, a man and a woman. Now take a look at your screen there. Right now I'm reporting.
See, I was able to look at 4361. That's this house. Let's see if it looks like they're saying. I was like, I don't know why I always like doing it, is like when you're at this end of the street and you're sitting there about like this, or was it the other direction? I can't remember, but I had the exact shot that guy was in. I don't know if it was this one. Maybe it was that one. Let me see. No. But anyways, this is the house apparently right here. At least that's where those cops were standing. I don't know if that's the house that it's in. That looks right. It's got the, let's see, the bricks, and let me go back to the one you could see it, the bricks on the lower half there. So that's kind of what it looks like over there. So who knows? But I thought it was sort of interesting, just the fact that it's on that side, of town, and in the direction that law enforcement thinks they would go. And I think it might be a man and a woman, and there's two dead people over in that area. So there you go. That's all I got. Other than that, you can take that with a grain of salt. It might not mean a damn thing. All right. So anyways, tonight we covered the the Tyler Robinson preliminary hearings. I mean, man, that is just, the defense team, if that's how the trial is going to be, my God, you got to be kidding me. It's not even like they're putting on a good defense. They're just playing games. This stupid, objection after objection, even though it's the same thing. Then finally today, as I suggested yesterday, they did a stipulation that, just have a standing objection for these different things. And then today, you got this clown that came on later, and like getting really deep into DNA and stuff like that. And it had absolutely nothing. It's irrelevant. I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, you can talk about your little deep arguments that you might have at a different time. This is a probable cause hearing, for God's sakes. You know, it's not, it's not meant to dig deep into the DNA files, and figure out like, oh, okay, now this allele here, you could have said something about that, and maybe this would have meant this, and it's just absolutely pure insanity, is what that was. I mean, you could see the judge was getting pissed off. I don't even think he was listening anymore. He was just like, at one time he took the gavel and he sort of slammed it on the table. Just went. No, those are big time attorneys they got. They're all over those guys are. Those are huge. I mean, they were given like these first person he had was just sort of normal, but they made sure that he had some of the really experienced death penalty attorneys just so that there wouldn't be any constitutional issues, etc. All right. Well, anyways, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to put together all the new surveillance and put it in order with the stuff that we already had. And maybe it'll tell a story. You'll be able to see it even better. But I might have to do I kind of want to do a different mapping thing at some point where you just kind of have a dot going ding, 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 ding around on the streets, like showing where he went. Stuff like that. But man, you guys are already dead as a doornail in here. Like, it's just, nobody's typing. Okay? This is why we have 70 people here, because none of you are typing. You're just staring at the screen. Start saying stuff. You guys are really great at saying hello, 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 hello. But after that, it just stops. All right? So keep saying hello. I'd rather have you say hello 17,000 more times than to just sit there quietly. Seems like every show I'm having to say that. Now, is it just that it's not interesting what I'm saying, or, don't know. It's weird. Really weird stuff. And even after I just said that, it's still dead as a doornail. Now, you guys might be on more of a delay now. Why doesn't somebody go out there and try to check out see if closed caption works? Well, you typed something in even when you were driving, so I guess it worked. But don't type when you're driving, okay? I'll just wait till people start typing and then I'll start doing the show. Got to get the ball rolling on that. All right. Yeah. It was pretty crazy, wasn't it? Oh yeah, so this is all new now. Okay, so let me just sort of move everything over to the side over here, maybe even this crap. Oh, cool, it works, huh? All right. You guys might be on a longer delay. Let's do one of my tests. Okay, I'm gonna count to 3. Right when I'm saying 3, type in 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Well, that was like 21 seconds. 21 seconds it took you guys to type that in. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so here's the Dodge Challenger in the morning. This is at 8:22:58 in the morning. And the car drives around there. You can still see it in the background over there. And what we're looking at here is, I'll probably just do it like, I'll explain it that way the whole time. And that's right here. So this house here has that surveillance camera on it. And we just saw the car come around like this and head that way. And that's going to be at 8:23 in the morning. And there it is, 8:23:05. You can still see it right back in there. Okay, and then we're going to go and look at the, I think it's all this video. Man, it's hard to. So here's in the morning time. It shows the car coming into the garage. And I think there's, let's see. Yeah, there it is, 8:29 and 19 seconds.
All right, Mr. Sturgill, you may proceed.
I'm just going to go till it starts actually moving. And then we'll edit it. Okay. Oh, cool. That's not him there, I don't think. Is it? He's the second.
That's a vehicle that is believed to belong to Mr. Robinson arriving in the parking garage on campus.
At what time in the morning?
Okay, no, he wasn't. He's the first one. Let me go back. All right, who's going to help support the channel tonight? We got another show going here, trying to augment the earlier one, which didn't really do that great altogether, for 8 hours. So we're doing a show right now. Gotta try to get some movement. All right. Right there. So that'll be, I can actually probably just move that. And then
Mr. Robinson arriving in the parking garage on campus.
At what time in the morning? What time of the
trying
day?
to visualize what we're looking at here.
Approximately 8:30 in the morning on September 10th, 2025.
And what leads you to believe that this particular vehicle belongs to Mr. Robinson?
Information.
Well, of course. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman, the legendary bass fisherman.
Vehicle belongs to Mr. Robinson.
Information that was provided regards to driving.
That's sort of interesting. Let me just try to. So I like to try to figure out exactly, precisely what we're looking at. I see, like, the road. So he's in there. It's almost like he can't be in that one, so he's in this one. He's in there, and then his car would be looking out the window. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe is that right there? There's a grassy, see how there's a grassy walk over there? So it could be right there, I guess, but there are bushes. There's a fence along there. That's kind of interesting. Like, where would that actually be? I guess we can just look at that later. Let's get it all in order.
Driver's license and Department of Motor Vehicle records. The vehicle fits the description of a vehicle owned by Mr. Robinson.
Okay, then here he comes.
And do you believe you recognize who that person is?
Yes.
Who is that?
I believe that's Tyler Robinson.
Thank you, Allie Cake.
All right. Where does he go from there?
He heads out of the parking garage on foot into the campus.
No, the gunshot wound fits too. Gunshot wound fits too. So it's just people that don't. They just keep listening to these washed up special forces people who keep talking about, oh, a 30-06 wouldn't do that, and you just believe it. Okay, there's tons and tons of video out there. If you get a bullet that's lost its gyroscopic, what is it, integrity, whatever the hell it's called, and it starts sort of rotating in the air, it's going to hit with very hard force, causing the shock wave, but still have enough speed to penetrate. And that's exactly what happened here. That bullet did not go in straight. It went in where the bullet was sort of yawing, and that's why it was more of a massive slap that penetrated in there, and then the bullet fragmented inside. And it happens, So just don't get hung up on crap like that. It's ridiculous. It gets almost embarrassing after a while when people just keep saying it over and over and over again. It's wild. Okay, so what time is this one? I can't. The time right there is really hard to see.
And do you believe you recognize who that person is?
Yes.
Who is that?
Is that when he comes? That's not when he. That's when he's.
I believe that's Tyler Robinson.
All right, and where does he go from there?
He heads out of the parking garage on foot into the campus and actually goes to the quad area of the campus. At that time, he makes contact with some representatives from TPUSA.
Thank you.
Like
Waylon
quad area.
Jennings.
Sorry, the amphitheater is what I previously referred it to.
Okay, so is that when he was coming back then? See, that's the part that's the time is almost impossible to read there.
So he goes up on campus.
It was the way they presented this was a shit show. They didn't say, okay, what's he doing right now? What time is it? They should have gone through each element on the video. Instead, he just sort of rambled on about generally what was on the video. And, these guys, they got to do better than this. Man. I'm telling you. So then that's when he's leaving. Okay, so and the problem is you have this stairway interaction. This is when he's, he parked.
Do you recognize who that person is?
He's walking away.
Yes.
Who is that?
I believe that's Tyler Robinson.
All right, and where does he go from there?
So is this when he's coming back right here? That's the thing is right here. Oh, wait, do we have the time on that one? Yes, that is. Okay, 9:24:36. There we go. So we just rewind that. Okay, so that right there is that's, I guess you could say, is later on. So if we take this and move it over here. So there goes the vehicle. And it's drives away. And then the next time we see it is right there coming into this garage. But it's only like, so that's at 8:23:05, and this is 8:29 something, like it said, oh God, come on, 8:29:20, all right? So it just sort of, what is that? That's the time, huh? I'll have to get that everything nice and synced up later, but I just want to get the clips in order. So these should all be in order right here. So he goes around, and then you see him, it comes right into here. Now let's look at, it looks like absolutely the same vehicle, and then 6 minutes later, it shows up into the parking garage, and it looks like it goes forward. So what we could do is picture this. I can do this right here. I think I can do this. Oh, I know where this is now. So he goes forward and turns right. So let's take a look at the top of this. This is what he did. He drove into the parking garage. Hold on, let me get the right spot. My brain. There it is. So he drives in, and he goes down, and then He must have, God, did he turn? Let's see, he comes straight in and then he goes to the right. How did he get in there then? Did he come into this? He must have came in this entrance to do that, to go in and then turn to the right, and then he parked like right there. But then out the window isn't grass. So, man, that's some crazy shit. If he came into this one, how does he turn to the right? I mean, I guess, is this still part of the parking garage, this whole thing over here? I mean, it looks like it's mildly connected. Honest or Gray, all your videos, photos have revealed this months ago, and thank you for the circus music during the... Hey, yeah, no problem. I mean, I had to do something, man. That thing was, that was ridiculous. Hey, thanks, Matt. Thank you, Tracy, Antioch, and Matt. Yeah, it's weird, though, right? So the vehicle, if he came in right there, how does he drive forward and then turn to the right?
Parking garage on campus.
At what time in the morning? What time of the day?
It's approximately 8:30 in the
So then it
morning
kinda
on
goes around
September
to the right.
10th, 2025.
And what leads you?
That's weird. Yeah, I guess that could be later. We got to figure that out. But the only spot that you could see grass like that from the garage is like, But if he came in this one, he would be able to drive forward, and that almost looks right. See how there's that, whatever that is down there, sort of more structure? That looks like that. You know, whatever this is, you know. So he could have driven around and pulled in right there. And then he goes around the corner. But then the problem is where does that grass, you know, it looks like there's a, you can see out there, right? And there's like grass in the background. Man, that's just crazy. I mean, that would have made total sense, except where the hell's the grass, you know? Or is this part of the garage right here? Because, I mean, could he be inside of that? It looks like it's part of, that's a building, though. That's the Student Life and Wellness Center, so no, that's not. That's pretty weird. You know, it's hard to figure out exactly what they're doing. Yeah, it's parking. Let me go up around here just to look at it for a second. Yeah, the circus music. I have 3 different ones. Circus music. You know, it seems like you're looking at that grass right there. But in some ways, well, let me, I don't know, let me just put all the clips together, and then we'll try to figure out exactly what we're looking at. Okay, so this is the early morning when he went there. He goes on the campus, and then like an hour later he comes back, and then, yeah, I'll just keep that as a separate clip. And that would be over here. And then he goes down, gets back, goes over to his car again. So it's parking level 2. It does say that right there. And it says north entrance. Oh, cool. There we go. So let's see. Let me just look at that again, even though I just said I wasn't going to do that, but it does say now. So it should, the north entrance, parking level 2. So that's that is that entrance. So maybe there's a cutoff, like he drives in, turns left, you know, he goes forward maybe, and we just can't see what he's doing, and then he comes around, and then he pulls in, you know, somewhere, but it looks like on the left-hand side, and maybe he goes up to another level even, or down a level, and that's all we're seeing is that next movement that he's doing. Okay, and this is okay, so that's later. All right, and then this is him leaving at 9:33 and 10 seconds. And look how crazy that is. You can literally see his face. I mean, it's blurry as hell, but they have a clear version. Let me just tell you that this is pretty clear, right? Like, this doesn't look terrible, right? But you know how amazing it is? How clear the original is? Because this is what we're doing. Listen to this. See, they've got the original video, and they were playing it on a television set that was at a 45-degree angle. And then a camera filmed that. So the TV compressed it however it wanted to compress it. Then the camera filmed it and compressed it how it wanted to film it. Then it got streamed where the streaming service, like YouTube, compressed it. And then I screen grabbed it and then brought it into the software and then stretched it out to be the right size. That's how bad. That means the original is way clearer. Like, I guarantee you on the original one here that his face right here is almost like it has detail on it. Okay? This is right next to the camera. It has detail on it. This isn't going to have that. It's just going to be, whatever it is. We're like 5 generations down. You guys like the thumbnail? I thought that was pretty cool. A little different, instead of the same old crap over and over again. So they just stop it there, for some reason. All right, I guess he keeps going. All right. There you go. So that one, I'll move over. Now it's even going to be longer pause before you guys say anything. yeah, it was cool. 20 minutes later. That's hilarious. Yeah. And thanks up there to Matt and Tracy Antioch and Wild Bill Wassman and Waylon Jennings and Allie Cake and Wild Bill Wassman. No, we're not at the dry run yet. That's the thing. We're not there yet. This is the early in the morning time. I've got to move. There's a clock thing that I have set here. We need to fix that a little bit later. Okay, so this is in the morning when he gets there at I have it on a map, so let's see. He gets there at 8:28 in the morning, and then he goes out onto the campus, and he goes over to the wooded area, and then he goes over to where Charlie Kirk got shot. So he scoped those 2 places out on this trip. That's not a dry run, though. He was just looking at those spots. So he went to, then he got back to the parking garage 56 minutes later at 9:24. So he spent quite a while walking around over there. And he gets back, and he's on camera. He's on camera all over the place. I think they probably have so much video of him there. I wish I was the one doing their videos. I'd put it all together in an organized way that all made sense, mapped out, show exactly where it is. They seem to, we're really struggling with this kind of stuff. And this is, man, I love doing this. You have to kind of like it, If you don't like what you're doing, you won't take the time to do it right. I literally spend sometimes like a ludicrous amount of hours making a video that nobody watches, Like those ones that I made, I got 2,000 views on, which is ridiculous. I got $8 in ad revenue for spending about 50 hours making with the animation and everything. I mean, just stupid, So, and those videos should all have like 50 to 100,000 views. They're, that shows you exactly what you need to know. Yeah, so anyways, he got back at 9:24 and then was doing something in here because he leaves at 9:32. So what the hell was he doing in there? Was he just checking his phone for a little bit? I mean, 8 minutes sitting around in a parking garage, he's doing something. Then he leaves and drives out. Now, obviously, he drove this way, and then he turned right and went this direction. And I think he parked right over here somewhere. Now, he could have also parked up there just to do the full dry run. I think that's his car up there, but, you know, either way, it's a straight shot because at 9:57, he's walking by right here. This is the beginning of the dry run that we see him on. So 9:34 to 9:57, that's 23 minutes. So obviously he drove somewhere and then he's now going to do a dry run, and it's only 23 minutes later where we see him walking by right there. And then, so let's see, what do we got? I think I could put that in there. So right before he pulls into the garage, why don't we throw that one still frame that I got put out of the actual entrance, because it appears that that is the entrance that he went in. So I could go like this and then put this, the garage entrance there. So it's like that. And then boom, he goes in there. And then he goes onto campus, so I can split that off. I'll you know, pop out and then show dots where he went on the campus. And then, after the car drove away, I'll have to show dots driving around the neighborhood. And then we've got this. Yeah, well, it is, Haley. It's crazy. I mean, 50 hours. I mean, you know how long it takes to make an animation with a matted shadow to make it look like the person's in the environment of a video? I mean, that took forever. And it really does. It's just, you know, you guys would probably think it's ridiculous. I put it out there with such high hopes, thinking finally I've got a video, and my God, had like 6 people watching it when it was live, and just... So there he is. This is, you know, because I did the shadow analysis, I know that this is 10:08. And what's verifying that now is the fact that, so there he is. Tyler Robinson's walking around, and then you see him walking right there. And now we have this other footage. Now let me get this over on this piece. It's over here. And this is him right here. Continue. I mean, it's so crazy. It's awesome. So let's hit the 4. See, there he is. Boom.
This is Mr. Robinson returning to the campus on foot from the neighborhood to the northeast.
Yeah.
You can see he's wearing the same clothing as in the previous
I want to listen to this.
video.
The dry run.
And he's carrying a blue backpack.
Describe the clothing.
It's a maroon colored t-shirt with gray or olive colored shorts and then Converse shoes.
And look at, he's going, I told you, didn't I tell you guys, he's going to go up the same
And
set
what
of
time
stairs.
did he return to campus?
On the
Just
dry
after
run,
10 a.m.
Likely, you know.
And does he leave the parking structure eventually?
He does, yes.
Okay. And during this visit, do you know where he goes after he leaves the parking structure?
Yes, we're able to track his movements on campus.
All right, so there it is, right there. And so you see him walking right here, and then right after that, you see him here. So check it out. This is what we're looking at here. He, in that video right there, is walking in front of this house right here. And right at the end of the video, you see him veer towards the grass, which led me to believe that he's going to, that's what made me really believe it's a dry run now. Because he's going to walk across, go over that little bridge here. Then he's going to go into this parking lot here. And then, guess what? He goes into the tunnel that's right there, just like he did on his final run. So then we go back to here. Let's just watch this. There he is walking by. And then notice how he's about 4 feet off. Now watch over here. Watch how close his feet are to the curb. See, he's just about to go onto the grass.
Now what do we see?
And then there he is.
This is Mr. Robinson
going into that
returning
tunnel
to the
just
campus
after
on
that.
foot from the neighborhood.
And he's going into the tunnel at, looks like, not, I can't see, 10:09 and some odd seconds, like 30-something seconds. So That makes absolute perfect sense. That's part of that same dry run. And there he goes, up those stairs. And as you guys have seen, I have all of the same stuff on camera. If I pull up the this one here, camera angle, and kind of go, yeah. So look, I mean, these are the same shots that they have. If I go back a little bit, yeah, right here, look at that. So look at this shot right here, and then look at this one. See, now their camera is like this, unfortunately. See, that is actually what they're doing with it. It's like this. I mean, isn't that ridiculous? So that's what they have on their camera. See that? Hell, that's almost identical. Okay, I need to go up a little bit more, like this. See these little dots over here? 1, 2, 3 up here. So watch this. Yeah, maybe I need to go a little bit more like that. Okay, so there you go. And then I actually walk over there a little bit. Maybe I was already there. Let's see. Let me go. Oops. No, I haven't had it up yet. So there it's up. And this is how you know. I'm 5'11", right? I'm like, hey! Stupid. Let me go back all the way to the wall when I'm near it. Nearer. But see how my head is, my shoulder is at the line. See this line right there? My shoulder is at the line. See that? And my head's above it, right? There's this line right there. And so I guess we have to do the same thing. We have to go like this. So it's it's about like this, what their video has. See that? Now let's go back and see what's going on with that. So he's, on this one, he's far out. So this one's hard to get his height on.
maroon.
You know, this one, the other one, he's right next to the wall.
It's a maroon color t-shirt with
Yeah, so we'll just keep that in mind for later. I'll do the, so I'm 5'11", and I think he's shorter than I am, this guy. So it goes around the corner, and then up. So that's interesting because he goes up. And so now we know he's on, and guess what? Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Let me, I keep saying interesting because I keep thinking of stuff. But let me go to the end over here, where I go up to the top. Right there. And see, there's a camera at the top here. And I'm just sort of wondering, is that what picked him up? Does that make sense of what we're seeing here? It doesn't seem to work very good. You know, because that one's looking down like that one would be, but the stairs are on the other side. So where did he go? Parking level stairs northeast. So is he... Let's see. So, yeah, that's the same stairs, northeast, right there. And so... Is that out of order? See, these guys, they got to do stuff where it makes sense, you know. Everything's got to make sense. If you don't make it make sense, you're going to have problems. All right? You're going to have problems. So, let's see. If he came up these stairs, right? It's the same setup. Right there. And that's that camera, right? So he goes up, and then you would think he turns left right at that point. Because that's how you get out of there.
He does, yes.
See? And he sort of looked like he was heading left.
Do you know where he goes after he leaves the park?
Hell no, man. That doesn't work. Okay, so where is this exit here then? Did he go down? So he came up, and then hey, thanks up there to Haley. Ludicrous amount of work. Yeah, well, it is. You guys see the problem there, though? Just with the video. So this is the normal one, where you're going up. I have that one. That's this one. So you come around and then you come up. Let's see if it has all the stuff. Let's see. Parking level 1 stairs. Is it possible that this is one layer below? No, I see the garbage cans down there. That's got to be the same spot. I mean, I guess they could all have a garbage can in the same general area, but that seems to be right. And it's just the correct name too. And so when he goes up there, what does he do next? This one, oh, that's mine. This says parking level 1 stairs northeast. And then parking level 1 stairs northeast again? What the hell's happened? I don't know what's I can't figure out what's going on here. He goes up. It doesn't make any sense. Parking level 1 stairs northeast. He goes up the stairs. But when you go up those stairs, it doesn't look like this. You know? So when you go up those stairs, I mean, I think they're just, I mean, this seems like this is somewhere else. Because look what happens when you go up the stairs. These are the stairs that he goes up. And when you go all the way up the stairs, it looks like this. So here's the top of those stairs. It looks like that. Now there is a camera right up there that I would think, okay, that would film it, but that would be, the camera would be filming down a set of stairs, right? And then on the right, you'd see maybe the top of the stairs going up. But look what you have here. It's like backwards or something. Now, because it was on the left-hand side, filming down. You guys know what I'm talking about? Do you guys even understand what I'm looking at, or it's hard to... I'm just trying to figure out, like, if this is out of order, I could fix it. Okay, that says 10, 10, and 7 seconds. When is this one? No, that's 10, 10, and... that's ridiculous. That's 10, 10, and 5, so that really picks him up right as he comes out of there. What the hell? Is this reversed? I think this video is reversed. Honest to God. And the date and time are correct, but the video is flipped horizontally. Oh man, they better fix the shit out of this thing. Here, watch this. I actually think that's what this is. So it comes up, because then it would sort of make sense. Watch this. Ah, this is ridiculous. Just like in that other case. What the hell was that? All right, right here. I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to flip the video. Let me put a... Can I do that in here? Like underneath the effects. Man, this is crazy. I think they horizontal flip. That's it. That's exactly what they did here. That video is flipped. Man, they better do something about that, because that is what this is. Okay, 100% that this is. Look he's coming up the stairs, and he'll turn left to go outside onto the street. Watch this.
Do you know where he he leaves the
Boom. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Is somebody gonna tell him that? I bet you I'm the only person out there that just figured that out. How much you want to bet? But they absolutely, this video right here is flipped horizontally that they put out. Why would, I mean, there's no nefarious reason to do it. It's just stupid. Like, what are you guys doing, for God's sakes? This makes complete sense right here. This is the camera that I've been telling you about. You know what? You know what's even weirder about all this? This camera that we're looking at right here is the exact camera that I told you that they'll have as he's coming up the stairs. That's why it didn't make sense to me. Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. Look at this. Watch how this absolutely makes sense now. See, there's a camera here, and there's stairs that go down, right? And then around the corner are stairs that go down, too. So when we go back and look at the footage over here, see how he's going up stairs like that. And then let's go to I've been there. So right there's a camera, and now we got the stairs going down on the left, the stairs coming up from down there, and then he turns left to go outside right there. So we go to there, and look at that. That's exactly what we have in, he's coming up the stairs, and then he goes outside. Wow. I wish I had their direct number. I'd tell them right now, dude, you have, your camera is flipped. And your date and time are correct. So that means the camera itself is filming with a flipped horizontal video. How do you like that? Thanks, Joel Burnt. See, that's the thing, man. When you actually look around. Now, I don't give a shit whose side what's on or something like that. If you have something that isn't correct, fix it. All right? This right here is obviously, it's not a mistake per se, because that is how the video recorded. And you know that because it has the footage timestamp on it. And that was correct. Now it's backwards. Look at, see that? That's backwards now. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on a second. What's the name of what county are these guys? What is it called again? Utah County? Is that right? And what the hell's this guy's name here? I'll send him an email right there. He is right there. Okay. Does he have a? So his name is Jeffrey Gray. Hey, you should probably like my name then. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. I think I have it right here. I will send it. That's fine. That's crazy though. And that's the video that was at 10:06. Mark, on a second. All right, let me do a screen grab right here. And it's telling us what it's supposed to look like. I'm gonna send it over there. That's just nuts, man. All right. Anyways, I set it off. They can do what the hell they want to do with it. I don't care, you know. But you got to fix shit like that. Stuff has to make sense. If you're watching it and you go, "What? Where is this?" You know, people might not notice or care because it's like, "Oh, he's going up and here he goes." But I care a lot, you know. So now it makes sense. See, here he comes up the stairs. Watch this.
And during this visit, do you know where he goes
Just, it's
after
even
he leaves
visually
the
makes
structure?
sense.
Yes, we're
out the door there. Okay, so that's how you want it to play because they actually timed it up perfectly. 10:06, and there he goes.
After he leaves the
And he's out like that. Now that stuff here comes on the camera. You're wrong. You want it to be something nefarious. You're incorrect. Yeah, this stuff right here, it comes from the camera itself. You're wrong. I know how these cameras work. All right. Anyways, let's see. Especially the time code right here. So the time code, if the time code's backwards, that's part of the video. And so, I mean, maybe there are courts that do that, and maybe that's the explanation. I don't know. I've never seen surveillance footage that doesn't have the time on it, especially on campuses like this. But wasn't that just sort of interesting right there? I mean, even though it's like, oh wow, they screwed up, but we figured it out that it wasn't right. All right. All right. So there he goes. He's doing his dry run, and then after that, I don't think there's any more. They don't have him coming back. I don't think. Let me see. What do they have? Yeah, they don't have any more video of him until he shows back up on campus again. See, we're not like the other channels who just play and laugh, you know, like goof. I mean, we goof around when we can, but these people, they don't even know what they're looking at. 90% of the people covering this case and doing trials that everybody thinks are so great, they don't know what they're looking at it on this case. I guarantee it. I know it as a fact. I've listened to them. They're just like, hey, what about? And they're off. And people are like, yeah, great idea. And it's already, the whole thing that they're discussing for 35 minutes is not possible.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you believe this is Mr. Robinson returning to campus?
I do, yes.
Okay. And why do you believe it's Mr. Robinson?
Come on, you guys. Wasn't that super chat worthy, you guys? You have to admit. That was pretty cool.
The shoes are the same, and the images that we have are from my
Man, by the way, isn't that exactly how you pictured him moving around?
and seeing Mr. Robinson on the video, it's the same person.
And I told you guys, watch, they're going to have video of him walking down this hallway. I said that.
He's noticeably wearing different
Now
clothing.
here, let's
He's
take a
wearing
look at this.
different clothing, and he also is walking with
So look where he is. He's right next to the wall. He's right there, you know. That's right there. He's about a foot away from the wall. Okay. So let's see let's try to make it mimic that same look when I'm down there. I'm like, hey, look at that. Yeah, see, I'm pretty close to there, right? Like, that's basically where he's standing. But then I start getting further away. But let's just go back to, like, right there. All right, so then I'm going to move the camera down like his is. So it kind of goes like this. You know, that's what his basically... Let me see how many of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. See what they have on his. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can still see 7 of them. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about like that. That's pretty much what the camera angle that he's on looks like. And let's see, does that look about the same as his, or? See, he seems lower. His shoulders are already below the line. And I guess in that one it sort of looks like mine are too. So let's take a look. Hey! Yeah, I guess, we're about the same height, I guess. If I look at this one, I'm not right next to it, but let's say, like right there is pretty close to the camera angle. And then my shoulder is there.
Walking with a gait or a limp.
Yeah, about the same.
Limp in this
Probably 5'10", 5.
video.
With the gate or what?
A limp.
Okay.
See if we can see that. Alright, cool. Nobody? I thought there was going to be people thought that was super chat worthy, that discovery there. Guess not. Alright, I'm just going to take this one. Yeah, see, this is flipped again. It's flipped again on this one, so it has to be the camera. This one is flipped. It's the same exact shot, It's stupid.
When he leaves this parking structure.
Yes, we were able to.
Okay. So when he leaves the parking
Well, thanks for the effort there, Alley Cake and Wild Bill. Yeah, so that's how that one goes too. So that means it's way more likely that it's the camera is horizontally recording it, because it happened twice. It's not like it can't be. There's no way that's randomly happening twice like that. Yeah, so they kind of duplicated that. So this is a dry run here. And then, yeah, so we have stuff to put in on this one. This one. Oops. That time isn't supposed to be there. That's not related. Yep. And then they don't show how he gets off campus. So the next time we see him, they're not using this yet, but I think they're going to use this at trial to show his path. Location is evidence, you guys. So you have that. Then, so we already had this one, and then okay, we have more over here. There he is again on the TMZ video, like that, and then he walks by this house. Why is that clipped like that? They put that arrow in there. I don't need that. It's gonna be pretty sweet. There's so much here, you know. Yeah. So you got that, and then this one. Then he cuts across the grass. And then right here now, we have this shot right after that. All right. And look out, see, this is how clear the video is in real, you know, the one they got. Like, these are really clear still frames that are out there. Thanks, Haley, Alley Cake, and Wild Bill Wassman. Okay, so we don't need any of this anymore. That one, I think, is valuable on that roof. Even though it's not really, it's not a surveillance camera, but... And then what else do they have over here? Yeah, so they had extra in here. Yeah, so we have this one. Waste area B. I wasn't able to see it. We could try it. We could look at it. Oh, there it is. Is that? Oh, look at, there he is. Yeah. Interesting. So there he is right there, that little blurry dot, you know, on this, you know. So let's see.
He then crosses Campus Drive.
Does he keep moving?
Drops down into the wooded area.
Ah!
Far side of campus.
Didn't I tell you guys, I mean, it's like every single thing that I told you is coming to fruition here. Even the guy just said, he goes across and he drops down. And I told you, when he goes over here, you won't be able to continue to see him to walk here, so they know he went into the woods, and that's why they searched there. Put a 1 if you've heard me say that 50,000 times. Because I have the same shot. I've said, when he walks over here, they won't be able to see him. That's why they knew that he went into the woods. Had he continued walking this direction, they wouldn't have thought that. See, that's pretty cool. See, look at it.
On the far side of Campus Drive.
And that is located in what part of the video?
A second. But hey, guys, could you guys please consider supporting the channel tonight? We're having one of those massive lulls again. That my channel, I don't get the viewership to make ad revenue, so it really just relies on the people watching. If you have the ability to help support the channel, that'd be great. Hate having to ask, but apparently that's what I'm relegated to. See, look, he's right there. You guys can see that, right? Let me make it bigger and like zoom in. And so he's right over there. See that darkness moving across? That's him.
What do we see now?
He then crosses Campus Drive and drops down.
Look, you can't see him anymore. He says on there that he dropped down into the woods. 1.5.
Area on the far side of Campus Drive.
Yeah, so you don't see him anymore, right?
And that is
So he went right into the woods exactly where, like I went when I was there. I'll show you. I mean, this is crazy. Watch this thing right here. So let's open this up, and we'll do the wooded area. I guess 1.5 means you haven't heard me say that. But I've not, maybe a million times. I've said it probably 50 times, minimum. All right, we'll go over here. And we'll do the part where we'll just do what he just did. So goes across the street. I guess nobody heard what I said. Yeah, boy. Another one of these. Just... I don't know how to present better stuff, you know. The camera is right up here. That would have filmed him. So look, I can look anywhere I want on this camera that I got. So right here, boom. He went straight down exactly where I'm going right now when I went there. See, that's why it's valuable to actually do these kinds of things when you... And so I think right around in this area is where he put the gun. In fact, I think he went up in a minute here. I kind of walk around down here for a little bit, just looking around. You can tell it's not really, it's just a little tiny hill there. And then, let me just move it back a little bit. So when I come around, this is where he went. I think he went right up here. So I think what we're going to see later on is that after going up here, I think he put the gun in that bush right there. I know I'm being really specific, but I think he put it in this bush right there. And he was trying to get right back to it that night, and he couldn't get there. See this? Look how thick that bush is. You just sort of tuck it into there. And then he wanted to go get it later. And all you have to do is come down these stairs right here, right? So what's interesting about that is the wooded area is right here where I am. And there's the fence that I just walked up along. And I walk up to about right here. And then there's these steps that come out. And he parked his car right there. And he walked this direction that night. Okay, so he got out of his car and he walked this direction. And all he would have had to do was walk along this fence here and go down there. But he could see that there was a cop car down there, so he didn't do it. Yeah, I guess we'll have to try it again. So if you're out there, my channel relies on you guys. So if you can help support the channel, that'd be great. Thank you. We need some channel memberships. We've only had one gifted membership tonight. Definitely need more. What? Who cares about the steps? Wow, what an odd set of steps, man. Wow, there's got to be something more to it. Holy crap, dude. There must be like some sort of a... something connected to the steps is why he was there. Perhaps his grandfather built the steps at some point, and he thought, maybe my grandkid will go up those steps someday. Yeah. Anyways, I think that bush right there might be exactly where he put it. Because up here, there's nothing. It's a little thinner, And I do make it all the way to the top here. And then, see how there's nothing going on there? Like, you wouldn't be able to hide it in there. Yeah, probably. And they found it way earlier, like in the evening. Yeah. They got it much earlier than that. Than when he started showing up. And obviously, right? Because if he'd shown up and the cops hadn't found it yet, he just would have went down and got it. Mm-hmm. God damn. Who's going to do a challenge tonight, you guys? We need one. So if you look at it like this, that's the atrium on top of the Losi Center building, I think. Yeah, and there's a little hill. So he came from right over there and then right like that. And I think it works out like that too, right? There's the angle of the fence. If you go straight back, there's the hill, there's the atrium. Yep, so there you go. That's exactly what we were looking back. See that right there? Like that? There's the fence, up the hill, there's the atrium, and then where I am, I'm on the fence, there's the atrium up there, there's the little hill off to the right. So he could just walk right down there and go up. It's an observation. That's just lunacy, you know. Hey, there's Richard Watts, a member again. No, he didn't. He dropped it off after he left the crime scene. No, why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would he go there later and drop the gun off? He was home free if he already had it with him. That doesn't make any sense. Or Staglia, whatever the hell their name is, I can't say it. That doesn't make any sense. Correct. I was wondering if it was possible for him to be dropping it off in that spot when he showed up in the car that night. Why would he do that? Why would somebody drive over somewhere and put his own gun into a crime, like right there? It doesn't make any sense. Come on. Am I reading it wrong, or? Oh, jeez. Oh, God. He didn't want it to be found. Didn't you listen to the notes? He just went over there. He put it there because he had no way to take it apart, first of all, because he accidentally left a screwdriver on the roof. So he couldn't take it apart. So he couldn't hide it back in his pants again. And so he decided, okay, I'll just tuck it over here and I'll come back later when it's dark and pick it up. But he didn't realize that he was caught on film going into the woods. That's really that camera right there is really why they got such fast progress on the case. That one camera. It showed the guy on the roof jump off, run into the woods. They got the gun. They started doing DNA stuff right away with that, etc. I just don't know what you're saying, man. Are you new to the case or something? Or it's just really weird. Strange comment. Let's see. Yep. So all he would have done was he probably would have done something similar to this. He could have walked right through there, or he could have, me and Paramount Tactical, I think, went right through that when we did it. Yeah, thanks, Ash. Leela Smith. Doesn't do me any good, though. It's crazy. Very frustrating. Yeah, I thought this was cool because it looked just like my video.
Sorry, September.
See him right there? So that's right when he comes up the stairs. Then he goes over here.
Right, and the individual can be seen moving under the notations that are on the video.
Okay.
Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Man. Thanks, Wild Bill. I'm trying to get other people to help.
And what time is this?
Stare at the screen. So you see him standing right there. I have him right here. You know, that's because I didn't know where he was standing. I figured he went over the wall in the corner because it's a better place to be. You're less exposed to people back here.
It's just afternoon, about 12:15.
But just watch that. See how there's a... And watch him crawl over the wall. It looks just like my video that I did of that.
On what day?
On September 10th, 2025.
Okay. What just happened, or what did we just see happen?
I missed it. His head was turned. See that? Look at it. He goes right over it.
And what time is this?
It's just afternoon, about 12:15.
Watching it, that little
On what
thing.
day?
There he
On
goes.
September 10th, 2025.
What just happened, or what did we just see happen?
The individual actually kind of rolls over the railing onto the roof of the Losi building.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
And then
And
that's...
again, in the top left corner, the individual is now...
Yeah, that's at 12:22. He starts running over there. It's actually... They have it at... Now we have the precise times. You know, like we can back that up. Yeah, so he must have taken off at like 12:22:10, something like that. That's right, Matt Lamb. It is. I probably should. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me do a backup. I gotta send another email. What time is that one? Back here. Eleven 11:55. I wonder what he did it. Why did it take him 7 minutes to walk from there to the Losi Center building? So he did something there. And 55. What was that one before? 11:55, and then okay. Oh, yeah, 11:55 flat. Why? Oh. All right. I just sent I had to do the update for the next one also to them and say, hey, you also need to flip to one at 11:55. We could actually check it out and see how long it took me to walk it, and then we could figure out, does it make sense? Because he's walking kind of slow, right? So we could do, let's see, if I do this one, the full walking route right there, and then I think near the end of this, if I go, okay, now we're almost to the, oh, I guess I already made it through there, so hold on. Here's the tunnel. So this is what it looked like for from his perspective, walking through the tunnel, just like this. Yeah, so if you turn around, there's the back of it. So he walks through that tunnel, And see, I'm walking much quicker than he was, swinging the leg, right? Thanks, Matt. All right, and then you go around the corner, and then he goes up this. There's the camera that picks him up walking up the stairs. And then here he is at the top of the stairs. Now, that's the camera right up here. Right up there that films him exiting over here. So here he is exiting. And he's going to walk down. Now let's see what time it is. Okay. So we're at 14, like 18 when this started. So I'm walking probably much quicker than he's walking. So let's see if it's reasonable for him to have only, that it took him 7 minutes to do it. No, they didn't find it the morning of 9/11. That's when they announced that they found the rifle. They didn't find it on the morning of 9/11. They had a picture out of it on the first night. Remember that? Yeah, sure. On the 11th, they said they found the rifle, yeah. The day after they found it. I gotta go back. I already forgot the damn time. Okay. I'm gonna put it into the chat here, what the time was. Yeah, we got a lot of crazies showing up in here tonight. You know, the kind that think they're so super sleuthy, Candace Owens followers. Something's not working. Yeah, something just doesn't add up, everybody. Something just doesn't add up. Oh yeah, the people doing conspiracy theories make, I have to scratch and claw to get every nickel on my channel. These guys just do the shows. They got 10,000 people watching because it's all bullshit. They're selling them. And they know that they're selling that. I mean, if let's say you could go to a stream and pan stuff that looked like gold and you could sell it to somebody and they would buy it, wouldn't you keep taking that same crap? Like, it's really easy to do. You get it and you bring it over there. If you're one of those types of people. So, of course, they're going to keep selling the garbage to the idiots who believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Now, I was talking to, I don't know who's making the comments. Are you okay? Worse nostalgia? You sound kind of paranoid. I don't remember talking to you about that. It was somebody else up there. FBI announced that they found the rifle in the morning of that, and it's just like that. It's trying to imply that it means something else. Yeah. Tyler walked on Campus Drive when he went to the Losi building. Yeah, he walked on this one right here. That's not what he said. He said he walked on this one right here. You didn't hear that right. He didn't say he walked on Campus Drive. Whatever the name of this one is what he drove on. If you think Tyler Robinson isn't the shooter, you are a dumb person, okay? I mean, that's all I can say. Now, you don't have to believe it or anything like that, but the truth is he is the shooter. There is no doubt, and the fact that people actually think he's not the shooter and think it's some other thing, he's a patsy, you're morons, okay? Tyler Robinson did this. I know you might go, well, Gray, they just have a different opinion. Well, it's opinion based on nothing, okay? It means that you'd have to be stupid to believe it. And so at that point, we have to then argue back and push back. All right, thank you very much. And that is the truth, what I just told you. So that means the 50,000 people daily who watch Candace Owens live are idiots. Every single one of them. And unless you're watching it just to see what other stupid things she's going to put out. All right. So right here is 17:03. So that was my pace. What was the time that I put up there? Wow. Man, that's crazy. That was 2 minutes and 54 seconds. All right. So Tyler Robinson was probably walking half my pace. So he probably would have done it in, right around 6 minutes, I guess, 5 or 6, given the pace that he was moving. So that's interesting, right? So we look at this then, and right here it's 11:55, but it still took him 7 minutes. And I'm sure it wasn't double, twice, half my speed. So he should have been able to do it in like 4.5 minutes. So what was he doing for 2.5 of those minutes? Did he kind of like go kind of slow and sort of look over? I mean, let's take a look at the what's down that. So if he came down, let's see. So he's right in here, and maybe he talked to some people. Didn't he say he talked to a couple people from? Yeah, that's right. In the testimony today, he mentioned something like how he talked to a couple Turning Point people. So that might be what took up 2 of those minutes. Maybe we can try to hear that in this clip over here. Let's see how he describes this part.
Food, sat and ate the food. Then, I'm sorry,
Where did he purchase the food from?
Chick-fil-A in the Sorensen Center.
And where is that in relation to the amphitheater or the courtyard?
All right, I'll try to explain it to you. Worstalgia, whatever the hell that name is. He put the rifle in the woods, and he didn't have a screwdriver to take it back apart again. I'm not sure that's why he didn't do that. I think his plan all along was at least his plan was to change clothes in there for certain. But he does he words it in the messages he has with his boyfriend, like Twigs, that, hey, I left it in there, and all I needed to do is get that. If I get that, I'm home free. So he kept trying to get it, but there were cops around the whole time. So he was never able to go get it. Oh, okay. Worst nostalgia. Worstalgia. Okay, there you go. All right. But anyways, yeah, if you go over all the notes from... Okay, I mean, I don't know if you want to do that. We could do that right now. Hold on a second. I do have it in here. Hey, thanks so much there, Elaine Neely. Very kind of you there. Appreciate it. Okay, here's the actual text from their conversation. All right, drop what you're doing. Look under your keyboard, or look under my keyboard. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. What? You're joking, right? I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I'd hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. You weren't the one who did it, right? I'm sorry, I am. I thought they caught the person. No, they grabbed some crazy old dude. They interrogated someone in similar clothing. So there's 2 people, an old dude and a person in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from the drop point. So he had a drop point set in mind. So I think he perhaps intentionally left it there because he uses words like that. But most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet. Almost enough to get out. but there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Why did I do it? Yeah. I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything in the news about them finding it. We'll update you by midnight. So this is way earlier in the evening. He's actually back on campus. We have this other footage in here. Hold on. This one right here. Look at this. This one's pretty crazy. There he is right there. And what's interesting is he thinks he's going to be able to go get his gun. So let me just get it right here. He thinks he's going to be able to go get it. Because, you know, it's evening now. He just got back from Dairy Queen. Or he could be at Dairy Queen after this. I don't remember the time on that. But let's move it over here. No, that's the next day there. Hold on. Oh yeah, wow. So there's a whole bunch more here. Let's get this in order. Hold on. Yeah, so I guess that's in order, right? And then there's the Dairy Queen. I don't know what time that is, but that's the same shirt and everything. And then this is the next day, so let me grab that. So there's a Dairy Queen. Now, it seems like Dairy Queen might be before this. I don't know. He might have been killing time over at Dairy Queen. Because remember, she said it was like 6 something? Well, it can't be 6:38 because this is 6:36 right here. And the Dairy Queen's much further away. So it can't be that time. Candace Owens is off a lot on her information. Just letting you know. So what's interesting right here is that, see where the car is right there? I'll show you where that is. That's right here. So he's right there, and he's thinking, okay, I'm going to turn in, but he sees cop cars. He can actually see from there all the way over here that there's lights and cars, so he goes, oh, screw that. And then he drives this way, and guess what he did? He drove around, he was hanging out over here, and then eventually he parks his car right there, just behind the crime scene, to go get the rifle out of the woods. Does that make sense now? A little bit? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't think I have Dairy Queen on there. Anyways, let's go back to this. I had planned to grab my rifle from the drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out. There's one more vehicle lingering. Why? Why did I do it? Yeah, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they've moved on. I haven't seen anything in the news about them finding it. We'll update you by midnight. All right. Well, stay safe. How long have you been planning this, Tyler? You know, he's talking to Tyler. A bit over a week, I believe. And there's actually a witness that believes they saw him out there. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. 3 hours ago, there was an officer with a canine walking nearby the area, hoping that pooch has a bad sniffer. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle, because it sounds like the police couldn't get it for a long while because of traffic. Yeah, so maybe they did get, let's see. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle, because it sounds like the police couldn't get it for a long while because of the traffic. And then needless to say, I'm a be late coming home, my bee. Just stay safe. I will. I'm worried about my old man, what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. So he even admits that he takes his grandpa's rifle. Guess what? There's a serial number on the rifle. Probably matches one that his grandfather owned. Then it says, I don't know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't be traced to me. Well, it'd be traced to your grandfather. Okay. And it did have a serial number. They mentioned it today. I worry about prints, though, you know. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. See, I bet he changed his clothes on those stairs. Doesn't that make the most sense, you guys? He changed his clothes on the stairs because it's really easy to stand up. It's hidden behind a fence and the trees and everything. He's up in there. And I think he put his rifle in the exact bush that I just told you about. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Not really. You left your screwdriver. You left your handprint. You left your footprint. You left a lot of things there, Tyler. Remember how I was engraving bullets, he says to Twigs? The effing messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm going to have to leave it. And that really effing sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun. See, this is kind of this comment here, I'd tack on 10 years. That right there is a comment that somebody makes that's a psycho, okay? Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think that was a $2,000 scope. You know, he's kind of like, wow, Grandpa's gun, you know? That one right there shows a callousness that you don't really see. All this bullshit little behavior, this little look he has in court like he's some, shrinking violet. You can forget that. Who says something like that? Yeah, he's on 50,000 surveillance he's just an idiot. Hey, and then he says, delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. I think this might be that really late at night. It is. So here's the thing. This is what proves it. This is the same night. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it's very unique. He's calling me right now. I'm not answering. Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. I'm sorry, but I think this might be it. Look it, right here. I think this might be it. If the way's clear, I can try and come your way to say goodbye. After that, I have a spot in mind. So he might have already, I don't know if it's in the morning that he got that from his dad or late at night. Are the cops outside, and why are you calling the police anywhere? Not yet. I have no doubts they will be on me within the hour, and I will be giving my location up and going out on my own terms. I have no intention of being drugged through the courts. Well, that didn't go very well for you. In front of the country, can I come see you? After that, I can call my dad and see if he's willing to help me or not. I'm just at my parents' right now. Maybe I could make an excuse to head home, etc. All the rest of it's just same garbage, over and over and over again. Down here it's I'm going to turn myself in willingly. I like to have it all in order, but I think didn't the gun image come out the same night? And it doesn't really matter, Having a cop car there, he's not going to go chance going into the woods to retrieve a rifle right when there's cops about 20 feet away. What's happening? I think he's the fault. Well, listen. Hey, a runner girl, He's not a fall guy. He's the killer. If you stand with Candace, you're stupid. All right? I'm sorry. I'm not researching any of that. Candace Owens is a dumb, manipulative person, runner girl. You're being tricked, and she's making just an absolute killing on people like you. Okay? There's too many of you. All right? It's really crazy. You know, I don't know if you're actually dumb. You might be incredibly gullible, though. Okay? You might want to look into that. You know, they took that word out of the dictionary, by the way. God. The case is crazy. It's not crazy at all, man. Hey, runner girl, let me just tell you something here. This case, I'm a true crime YouTuber. You're following political conspiratorial nut jobs, okay? I do true crime. In all the years that I've covered true crime, this case is the strongest, simplest case I've ever seen, ever. Okay? It is an absolute slam dunk. Tyler Robinson has no shot. He's done. Okay? So I don't know what else to tell you, but you can go believe whatever the hell you want to believe. You're just wrong. He was less than 100 feet away from it. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Based on that Street View video you showed. Yeah, it's crazy how close that is. I mean, I think that's exactly what he did, too, by the way. You know, so we have this, and that's the next day. So I'll put this over here. And then what was the other? I have these. Wait. Is it this one or this one? That one? Okay, that's the... Okay, not 42 is the one. No, that's not. 43. No. Man, maybe it's 41. Let me open these up. Yeah, I don't think so, though. I gotta get the new footage that came out the other night. That one. Yeah. Yeah, so there's the footage there. See, again, this is at that angle that they've got. Fine. Oh yeah, so let me go in there. And then I had a filter on here. Camera pin. Let me do the same thing on, you know, I doubt it was recorded exactly the same, but yeah. Okay, so it's camera pin. All right. So that's what I recorded on the screen right there. And then the effects is camera or pin. Where the hell did it go? Ah, God. All right. Corner pin. Okay. Corner pin. There it is. All right, so just do that. That's the only thing. The corner pin. Boom. Yeah, so that didn't work that great. But, you know, I think the video is supposed to fill up the whole screen because of the way it was filmed. So let me try it. I'll move some of these. I've never used this one before. It's pretty cool though. Look at that. How you can make it sort of, okay, there you go. That's good. Up. How about upper right? There you go. And then maybe turn off the scale, uniform, and go this way, like that. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty close right there. Right there. I think that's pretty good. That. There's that, and then he shows up in that person's yard. And then on this one, let's do a just like a contrast, just to make it so it's easier to see. Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. And hey, guys, if you're watching the show, if you could please help support the channel, that would be awesome. Instead of having me ask 14,000 times, it'd be great, you know. Okay, there's brightness, contrast. And then we'll make it a little brighter. See, that's way better like that, right? And then maybe we can zoom in on that a little bit. Where's the scale? Motion. That's weird. So if I hit the uniform, it'll see. That's stupid. Oh, that's right. You gotta nest it. There you go. And then that one, kind of scale into there. And there you go. There's his vehicle. Same damn vehicle. See that? Looks better now because I've widened it the way it's supposed to be. Because he went to try to get his gun, Worstalgia. We've already gone over it many times. You know, it's oh, we got a troll in here? Yeah. Yes, you guys. I'd like to have your support on the channel tonight. You know, I feel like my work's worth the support. It allows me to keep doing this stuff. I wish I could get more people. Just doesn't happen. People want to watch conspiracy theorists nut jobs. And so, look at this right here. Here he is right there. Yeah, let me show you the first one. So he pulls up the car. Okay, now watch this. You can sort of see him. It's really pixelated. That's what the problem is, because it's pixelated, but you can see it. You can see his foot on the ground. See the whiteness of his foot right there, and he's walking. And then it's just hard to make him out. You can kind of see a little bit of blur, you know. And then watch the light. The key is right here. See this light here? Watch how you see him in front of it. Watch this. Right there. See that? So watch it again. He walks right in front of it. And then later he comes back in front of it. And see, that's the thing. That car is parked right there by that tree. And then he walks this direction. And so that means he's headed right towards where his gun is, probably right there. I literally think his gun is right where my pin is here. So if you go, you know, pretty much right there and go to here and here, that's only, you know, 220 feet. It's right there. You think the buyer's involved? What are you talking about, Richard? What does that have to, what does that even mean? The buyer's involved. What? I think they were near where he was. They were parked right on the street right there. Man, I don't know. I don't know. It's just like a lot of these questions we've already talked about. We've answered for years. I mean, not years, but for months and months and months and months. It's like, you know, yeah. They had a cop car right there on the street, which is like 50 feet from the gun. He couldn't risk it. I don't think they're just all sitting around hanging in the woods, but at some point they were in there gathering forensic information, obviously, right? So who knows when he was there? He took off. He went to Dairy Queen. He then, you know, he looked around. He tried to pull back in, and he probably just kept watching and texting and. Nah, it doesn't make it hard to believe. I don't think anybody except Tyler Robinson knew what he was doing that day. I think they all knew that he didn't like, you know, like all of them didn't like Charlie Kirk, and they would probably talk about him. But there's no evidence at all in any of the documents or anything that he was aware of what Tyler Robinson was doing. None of the text messages, none of the, and then he also sent a message onto Discord saying that, hey, I'm sorry, everybody. I didn't know, you know, because they didn't know that he was actually doing that, you know. And it could be, there could be somebody out there, you know, that he talked to about it. We just aren't aware of it ourselves. Okay? And you can see in the text messages, Twiggs was not aware. He was even like, why? And then he said, why did I do it? Because there was a confusing communication. Hey, thank you, Danny, for gifting a membership. And then also to Michelle. I'd like to think that one of them knew, but there's no evidence right now. So let's not pretend that we have it. Yeah. All right, I'll be back. I'll be back here in just a minute. I'm going to play this. All right. Might have to have some bites of cantaloupe over here. If they thought he did it, then they would have charged him with it. They wouldn't get him off as a witness. Oh, is he out of here now? That guy? I didn't see it. What happened? Oh. He probably said something. I don't know. I don't see anything. What did he do? What did they do to get timed out? I didn't see it. What did that guy do? That got kicked out. Nostalgia, whatever the hell his name was. Warstalgia. Well, what for though? What did he say? Oh, so he was a troll then. He was a troll. That was a different person, Missy Six. Okay, so they're not, you didn't delete them, they're just timed out. Okay. Are they been removed now, or I don't know. What do you mean he said nothing? What are you talking about? Well, I don't mind if somebody keeps asking something, you know. I don't know. I don't know what's confusing about it, but yeah, it's hard when you explain something to somebody like flawlessly 4 times and they keep saying the same thing. At some point, you just kind of wonder. I guess you wonder at that point. Yeah. There was another person that came in there and they made their little, money comment thing that they always do. Yes, I try to listen, you guys. If you're new here, on my channel, I try to bring in income to the channel so that my channel survives. And at the end of each month, my channel, unlike any of the other ones, has donated $300,000 since January of 2020. I try to donate thousands every single month. All right, so that's out of the ad revenue. Unfortunately, there's almost none of that coming in. So it comes down to channel memberships and super chats, etc., etc., etc. All right, that's it. We do a lot of good stuff here. I guarantee you, I've donated more money than Candace Owens has. Okay? She makes millions. We don't. Okay. Yeah. So again, you guys, if you could help support the channel tonight, I would appreciate it. I think, and if you got here late, I actually discovered an error in the surveillance footage that the prosecution put out today. Did you guys all see that? Put a 1 if you didn't see that earlier. I'll show it to you. It's pretty interesting. I actually emailed the prosecution about it. You know what it tells you is they don't know the layout. They just see this video. See, they just know, like, oh, here's a video. So for me, it didn't make sense when I saw the video because I know the layout of the stairs. For some reason, it didn't mean anything to them. And maybe, you know what? Here's the thing. Maybe that's the raw footage, and then the one that they fixed, they flipped it correctly. All right, so anyways, I'll show you what I discovered in here. So see this right? Let's see, hold on. Which camera is this one? I don't know, man. Now let's see, which one is this one? This one's, because this one's the, what stairs are these?
Goes to the quad area of the campus. That time he makes contact with...
That's level 2, that's different. Right. Okay, that's right, that's different. This is his early morning one. But when he comes back and does his dry run, watch this. So here's the dry run. He's walking, starts there. Then the next shot, he's walking in front of this house, which is 10 minutes later. And then he shows up on campus, goes down the stairs. That's like 2 minutes after that last shot. Comes down, walks through the hallway. Then he goes up the stairs. Now watch. He goes up these stairs right here.
And does he leave the parking structure eventually?
He does, yes.
Okay. And during this visit...
Now look, this makes sense now. You see how he walks out right there? It looks good.
Do you know where he goes?
Boom, and he takes a
after
lefty
leaves
leave,
the-
so it
the
makes
parking?
sense. This, I had to flip this video horizontally to have it work. Can you believe that? It's crazy. to literally, just to get that one little clip to work, I had to flip it because I could tell that it wasn't correct. So if we, let me do that again. Let me, can I turn that off or? Flip horizontally. All right, that's what it looked like when they gave it to me, and it made no sense. And I know it didn't make sense because as he goes up the stairs, I know that if you look to your left, there's a camera up there, but this doesn't make sense, right? But when you put it on there, it makes complete sense. But look at the wording is backwards now because the camera itself filmed it flipped horizontally. Can you believe that? Then, here's the next one. Here's the final run. 11:45 there. This one is 11:48 something. And then he makes it right over, excuse me. Let me get to the right spot. So right there, he's walking by. Then he walks through that parking lot, goes to the top of the tunnel, talks for a little bit, lets himself down. And then when he goes up these stairs here, so right here, he's doing the same thing. Now watch. It's perfect timing.
And
Look
you're
at how
going to be
he's
able to
walking
track.
now.
So we're able to
This is
track
crazy.
Mr. Robinson
Like he's got a sore leg.
when he leaves
and then there he
this
is.
parking
Boom,
structure.
right?
Yes, we were able.
But look at, I had to flip this one too. See, that was completely backwards and it made no sense. So flipping them got it to be correct. So I'm not sure how the video got flipped. It's almost like the camera that's sitting there had flipped video because the wording was oriented correctly. And it's only on that same shot twice. No, well, I wasn't here. You didn't piss me off. I went and got cantaloupe. But I sent an email to, the general prosecution office to say, hey, you guys, that's flipped there. Now, here's the thing. They may have known that. And in the edited version, Exhibit 12.1, maybe they have it unflipped. But I don't know. I don't know, though, because you'd have to, flip the words, too, or something. I mean, unless that... I doubt the person earlier would be correct that they put the wording on after, since there's two videos that have the same video has the same problem. And there's nothing to gain by it. It's not like, oh my God, by having it reversed, it tells a different story. It doesn't. It doesn't tell a different story. Oh yeah, this one's cool too, because there he is right there. See that? There's the Challenger. And this is when he sits there. They actually have him checking his maps to see how to get to a car wash. Okay? And right when his car's parked there is when he's doing that. It's so awesome that they have that kind of detail. So in one of the more recent documents that came out, he's searching while his car is parked right there how to get to the car wash. So he's right there, and then he drives out. Okay, I know where it is now. And then he takes off. He drives away. And we don't have any footage of him over at the car wash. But everything, Matt, is so perfectly lined up, you guys. And I believe that that aerial footage of the car there is his car. I don't know if you guys want to take a look at that again. We could try to look at some of the features that are on it. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is at 11, and the time works too. That's the thing. Oh wait, yeah. Oh cool. Oh man, was that the different date? Hold on, let me go back a little bit. So that one's September 23rd, so that doesn't matter. This one is September 18th. That one was September 24th. This was September 10th. And this is at 11:26. Literally 20 minutes before he's walking in front of that sawtooth fence. Here, let's bring this into over here just for the hell of it. I see there's another one there. A second ago. That's September 24th. September 23rd. This is September 10th at 18th at 2:09, so that doesn't matter. September 10th, 24th. September 10th at 11:26, right there. I mean, that's crazy. So let's look at this car right here. You see that looks like a Dodge Challenger. And where it's parked is absolutely perfect. The look of it's the same, so sort of that metallic-y looking metal. And let's look at the top of the car here. So let's go find. I think it's a 2017, right? Dodge Challenger top view. Images. Well, I mean, there's a pretty good one. It's a different color. But look at that. It has the damn... Oh, this is it. That is it. Look at this. You can see it right there. Look at it. Boom. Ah, crap. That is absolutely... That was cool. I didn't really realize that. But you can see this. See that little line right there? That's right there. See that? That little molding. And then that part right there is right here. And then this side appears to have a similar shape. So it has that exact thing in there. That's crazy. Look at that. I think it was 2017, right? Don't you think that's insane? That aerial photography, that, you know, it's just this company that flies around and it happened to be in there on that one, picked it up. And there it is again. And what time is this one? Let's see. View. September 10th. So there's nothing there. Oh, yeah. There's nothing there at... See, that's 12:09 right there. So the car is gone. Does that make sense? No, wait. No, that's September 24th. Sorry. That doesn't... Let me go back a little bit here. See, he has the date on this one. All right, so this one, check it out. This one's 11/18, you guys. That's 11/18. And that car is still there, and it's there at 11:26. And then if you remember, Tyler Robinson ended his dry run at 11 o'clock. So he probably went to where he had a car. Oh, man, this all, it makes sense to me, man. Here, look at this. So let's say Tyler Robinson parked right around on this street. Because remember how they mentioned this particular street. So let's say he parked on this street on his dry run. He parks right there and he walks this way. That's why he shows up on this camera. And we see him walking around like this. And then we know, based on how long it takes to walk it, I did it. He walked around like this, walked on the street, and then we see him on a camera right here. Therefore, this house also picked him up. And he walks by like this. And then he goes on into campus there. And then he hangs out and he leaves campus at 11, right? So maybe he went over here somewhere. He walks out and he comes a different way, goes back to his car right there. So he left campus at 11. And then he gets to his car at like 11:06 or so. Then he drives and parks it right there. That's why it shows up at 11:28. It doesn't show up on an earlier time, though. I saw that. So it's like 11:28, and then it's there at 11:18 also. 11 or 16, whatever the hell that number was. And then that's where he parked it for his final, so that when he was finished, he could run out of here, run up the street, get in his car, and he's kind of already gone. You know, he's already out of there. Doesn't that make sense? You guys. Jeez. All right, guys, I have to try it again. We've just been massive lulls. I'm not sure what's going on. I need your guys' support on the channel. You know, like, this is a whole nother show we're doing here, and we're currently at a third again. Barely squeaked by on an 8-hour show earlier today. And it's just not, I mean, when you do 10 hours of shows and you're barely making a goal, it's like, that's not cool, you know. So if you guys could please help support the channel, I'd really appreciate it. We could use a couple challenges would be good, you know. Might get us somewhere. But definitely need your guys' support. I don't have 6,000 people watching. Yeah, so I think he parked right there. And, man. Let me see. Let me look at some of this other. Yeah, so that's 11:18, and that car is still parked there when he did his final run at 11:45. That blue car is right there behind that car. See, this is also 11:18. Does he have any before? Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard them. I saw, like, God, it seems like 15 years ago, where they were experimenting by recording full blocks for a certain amount of time, where you could literally go back and watch something happen before. I mean, you would think with the, you know, the storage capacity is getting way bigger, that you might be able to do that, you know, maybe on a daily basis or something. But then you could store it, I guess. I mean, I don't know. But man, that's so much footage. It's crazy. Huge files, you know. Anybody hear what I just said, though, you guys? I need your guys' support. It's like talking to a brick wall sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, so that one's at 11:26, 8 minutes later. Oh, wait, now this one, okay, cool, that's right. So this is one at 11:10, and the vehicle isn't there. See that? See, God, that's amazing. I mean, think about that. You see that? It's 11:10, and the vehicle isn't there. That's exactly what you would expect. He leaves campus around 11, gets to his vehicle, and then he moves it there. So that means it's not there. It was put there after that, and between 11:10 and 11:18. His car was moved to that location. Yeah, 2013. I think they look the same. They have the same stuff on them. Let's see. I was wondering. I'm not sure why I think 2013. Yeah, look, they still have the same little, the same crap. It's hard to make it out, but yeah, right there. So, see how you can see it has those same little, I'm not sure, air intakes. And then here's the top of it. See how it has that same shape? So, yeah, okay. So if it's a 2013, it still works. It has the same shape. I have the vehicle in a 3D program. Let's open it up. Thanks, Wild Bill. Thanks for all your help all day long. Your support, help, everything. Yeah, I'm trying to find the... text message. Oh, there's 3D models. Challenger. Let's see. Dodge Challenger. Yeah, 2013. I guess I could have figured out the date by finding this. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there it is. See? 2013 Dodge Challenger. Look at that. I mean, that is just so perfect. See, it has that line there, and then boom, boom. And then we go back to this, and let's go to the... right there. And look at that. You can see that line, that's right in there. And there's another one there. And then you got this part, and then it even goes up like that. Let's see. Yeah, see? It goes up, and I mean, that's it. That is the car. God, it's exact. I mean, look at even right in there. See that? How it goes up like that, and then it's kind of close to the edge there, and then it kind of goes around. Look at this. Right there. It's unreal, man. I don't know if I saw that the last time I did that. You know what we could do is go like this. Let's see. That's the top. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to do... I think we did something like that in overlay at one point. Alright, you guys. I'm going to get going here. Thank you for showing up. Hope you found it interesting. So thanks to Wild Bill Wassman, Allie Cake, Waylon Jennings, Wild Bill Wassman. Then we had Tracy Antioch, Matt, Haley, Joel Burnt, Wild Bill Wassman, Allie Cake, Haley, Richard Watts, and Wild Bill Wassman. And then we also had Matt Lamb, and then Elaine... Let's see. Elaine Ely, something like that. Wild Bill Wassman, Danny Mitchell, and Michelle H. Very few people. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.